Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Topic of the Week. Now, today's topic, we're going a little bit more topical. Recently, Washington Commanders QB Jayden Daniels sent a cease and desist letter to his former university, Louisiana State University, one of the most prominent football programs in the country. Why did he send it? Because it was believed he was told by old head coach Brian Kelly when he left that the number 5 would be retired and that no one would continue to wear the number 5. Now, any of you following college football know Brian Kelly is out at LSU and Lane Kiffin is in, and is gone to a man named DJ Pickett, I believe, who was promised the number 5 during his recruiting process. He has worn it since a kid. So now DJ Pickett's wearing number 5. Jayden Daniels got very upset and sent a cease and desist letter to them. So today's monologue or topic, this topic runs about 5 minutes if you watch the full episode. Then we kind of put it into clips. But out of respect for Jayden Daniels, we're going to try to keep it under 5 minutes today. Okay, so here's what happened. Brief timeline. Daniels a couple years ago wins the Heisman Trophy. He moves on to the NFL. When he moves on to the NFL, old head coach Brian Kelly promises him, hey, we will retire your number. Nobody else will wear the number 5 except for you. Great. So last year happens. Brian Kelly gets fired. New head coach Lane Kiffin comes in. Very dramatically, I might add. It was a very, very interesting couple of days on ESPN when he came in. But that's another discussion. So, sophomore cornerback DJ Pickett. He wanted the number 5. Lane Kiffin, of course, wants to give the number 5. And he goes back on that Tankley promise made by the old head coach. So, Jayden Daniels naturally, and his team gets upset, which Jayden Daniels, another thing, he is not represented by an agency. He is represented by his mother, which, credit to trust your mother with that. I don't think I would. So him and his team send a cease and desist letter telling to stop using his name, image, and likeness because technically it expires, from what I read, 180 days after he has left the university. So the university technically has no right to sell Jayden Daniels merchandise. And another thing is they're very upset that promise was broken. So I looked into LSU's bylaws. And actually, in the late 2000s, so 2007 and 2009 range, LSU changed its bylaws that no jersey retirement is permanent. So what did he mean? Meaning they can retire somebody and then unretire it for any reason if they want to. Now, Jayden Daniels does not have his number retired. We want to clarify that. Jayden Daniels, you have to be 5 years removed before, and he has not been 5 years removed from college. So no bylaws or anything shady was broken. They just went back on a promise made by an old head coach, and Jayden Daniels kind of got upset about it. But if you look back, a lot of people say, well, Joe Burrow wore number 9 and nobody's worn it since he was gone. And a lot of people go, well, yes, but Joe Burrow won a national championship his Heisman year. 2019 LSU team, I had the fortune to watch them in person in LSU against Arkansas. It was a very cool experience. But I want to say this, that Jayden Daniels went 9-3 that season, which is still very, very good. As a Baylor fan, I would love a 9-3 season with a Heisman winning quarterback. That sounds like a dream after the couple years I've had. But another thing, for LSU, that's just average year for them. That's just kind of that's worst case scenario for them. That's how high the bar is. So we're talking about this. Lane Kiffin, who is a very dramatic person, takes it away. He was asked about it. They're not returning the number, which is every right. They have every right to. But I just kind of want to leave it at this, that Jayden Daniels technically did nothing wrong. It's just he just took the wrong action with it, and now he's getting flamed by the internet, which all the memes have been hilarious. Just some of the why are presidential terms only 4 years instead of 5 is because out of respect for Jayden Daniels. It's just great material. All right, we're at 4:45, so we're going to try to keep it under 5. That is it for the topic of the week. We'll go into the next segment.
been so long, all the feels are gone. Fella stopped me on the street last night, said everything's alright. Roller coaster, make it through the day, I'm right. It seems your meal ticket is gone, but life goes on. I could never imagine something better. Yeah, right. Now you're cooking on high heat in the middle of the street. Roller coaster, take me to a better time. Let's go. All sing your high line with the roller coaster of life. Yeah. It's time to all choose your timeline on the roller coaster of life.
All right, everybody, welcome back to DI Feed Updates, where every week we'll give you an update about what's going on the platform, any improvements we made or any suggestions we've gotten, and also the potential outreach. So if you hear this and think, oh, I want to add something, please reach out to us and let us know. So what did we add this week? Well, I've added 2 new features this week on the conversation boards. Now, I thought the conversation boards were a little stale. Nobody was really using them. And so I wanted to add a couple features to spice it up. So we added a polling feature where you can now create a poll on a topic and ask people where do they think on it. So we have the polling feature that I'm going to show on a visual display here. Then we have the story perspective. Now, the story perspectives is I want to hear from y'all. What are y'all's stories? What do y'all care about? And everything, and why you believe what you believe. And so the story perspectives are for all that. I want to say thank you to all of you who have continued to use the site throughout the last couple weeks and all. I really, truly appreciate it. And thanks again. All right, that's it for this week's DI Feed Updates. We'll see you again next week. Hello, everybody. We're gonna go on a quick tangent here. So, to those of you who watch the show Big Brother and kind of follow on Instagram, something happened last week. Nothing horrendous, but a contestant on Big Brother named Dee, who previously played on Survivor, now is playing Big Brother. She was playing a great game from what I've seen. She was a have-not last week, and she broke a rule where she ate a snack. When you're a have-not, you really only eat slop. And so a lot of people who are like big super fans of Big Brother, which I wouldn't call myself a super fan of Big Brother, but I love the show. I think it's just so much fun to watch every week. I used to watch it every day with my dad since I was probably 10 years old. But I just have a message to the people who watch the live feeds. And you are sitting there watching people live in a house all day, and then when they break a rule, you are going on the internet and asking the production people to take them off the show. I just want to say, please find something better to do with your time. I don't know what y'all are doing. Maybe get a job. Maybe just find something different to do with your life. Something a little more productive. But don't be watching people live in a house and when they break a rule, going to production and blaming all of them. I know being a have-not is a part of the show, but don't just condemn them and try to get them off. Just my message. That's it. All right. All right, everybody. Now it's time for the discussion of the week. Now, today's discussion, I'm asking this to people, and I want people to go onto the site and respond. So, I want to know, should there be an age limit for social media, and when should the age limit start? Because, in my opinion, it's pretty obvious how dangerous social media is at a young age, and I'm just kind of curious what y'all's thoughts are on it. So if you want to go on to difeed.net, go onto the conversation board, and you will find the discussion of the week there. So thank you very much, and we'll see you then. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the quote of the week and the end of the episode. So today's quote is from Conan O'Brien, and it's, "When all else fails, there's always delusion." Now, I love this quote because you just keep going, no matter what the scenario is. That is it for this week's episode. Thank you again to everybody who's watched, supported, I know we're figuring things out week by week, and I appreciate all the people who have shown support for this and have just gone out of their way to help. So once again, thank you to everybody, and we hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
It starts with an idea you can't shake. So you sketch it out, design something real, and you begin to hope. Hope people understand the architecture. Hope it changes how we map information. Hope it alters how we connect. But hope is a funny word. Hope is passive. It sits there staring blindly at a screen. Meanwhile, the tools engineering our attention are built to confirm our beliefs. We fall into silent digital rhythms, drifting through feedback loops that only mirror our own biases, until predictive models completely stop us from seeing different perspectives. The truth is, we are all flawed human beings trying to make sense of the world. That's where belief changes things, because belief forces execution. That's why the iFeed exists, not to change your beliefs or your opinions, but to let you see the other side. Step outside the loop and rebuild a real conversation, because understanding begins where agreement ends. Welcome to the iFeed.